Alrighty, this is the kind of the wrap up and the overview of the pain in the ass. This little HP 1150 NR netbook mini PC has been, well, it's been fine. It's because I'm basically based on my behavior, functionally illiterate when it comes to computers and Linux and stuff that you shouldn't be using a hammer on in general. Anyhow, what I did is I bought this from an old lady on the marketplace, and I've made a habit of buying some of my, I have 8 laptops now, and that I've got different setups on that I'll be going through and showing you what I've done or I'm doing. But what I wanted is a hacker computer mini, but I also wanted a mini that I could run SDR ham radio stuff off of. So I figured, hey, I'll get this mini, and at the same time I had a Surface Pro, and figured I could do something with that, and turned on the Surface Pro, and man, I kind of like it with the Windows 10. I'm not a big fan of Windows 10, but it's a nice little computer. So I've gone some alternate ways and kind of chased myself around the mountain about 5 times. Just almost threw this thing in the river earlier, and because it would not boot, it wouldn't load anything. It was just an absolute pain in my backside. So I walked away from it, came back to it now, and figured out what I'd done wrong. One of the first things that happened is I have a thumb drive with, I had put Lime 32-bit, I think a 15 LTE, on this unit, and it's actually on this hard drive, HDD 180. This is the factory hard drive that came with it. That is not the factory ribbon, and that will become very, very much important here shortly. So I was trying to use a thumb drive and load Kali or Lime or, oh my god, anything on this thing after I had succeeded in putting Mint on this hard drive and have it boot up. Everything's hunky-dory, it's just fine, cute little laptop. And the only problem with it is it didn't have internet. For whatever reason, Lime or Mint did not load the drivers for the some of the software, for some of the firmware, hardware, as in the modem and stuff like that, so it would not connect to the internet. So to get around that, I eventually said, hey, screw this, I'm gonna hook it to my iPhone and use it as a hotspot. And when I hooked it up, the thing immediately launched itself through Firefox into the Lime website. And the first thing that popped up on this website was what? You guessed it. This is a dead software. It's no longer supported, end of life. So all that work, all that effort for nothing. I was, to say pissed off was an understatement. Well, not pissed off, but more focused. So in the meantime, I had bought this hard drive. This it's a 40-pin, 128 gig ZIF 1.1" hard drive. I believe these are the same ones that are used in Zunes and maybe even some of the older iPods. I know that the vendor on Amazon sent me a nicely worded letter, and I will get back to him saying, hey, please don't be rough on me because it took so long to get them, but just, it's hard to get stuff right now, and we're trying to be, make you aware of what's going on. So I'm like, screw that. I'm hammering this dude with the second order, and that one is going in my other, into Thing2. This is Thing1, the other one is Thing2. This one will eventually have Kali on it, and the other one will have, or I may just leave this on here, this MX. Kind of digging that. And I will have this case that I bought to store. The original thought was that I would load whatever software, distro, onto the original hard drive, because I couldn't figure out exactly how to do this. I didn't have internet, so I figured that if I finally got it onto one hard drive, I could just copy it over to whatever. But to do that, to burn or to format or anything, a hard drive, you would need some sort of a cable. And I came across this on Amazon, this enclosure, 1.1/8" enclosure, and it comes with the ribbon, which is that one right there, and all the stuff, okay? And you just USB connect it right into the side of the thing. Well, long and the short of it is that I put the thumb drive in, knowing nothing about Linux, and started going through the process of formatting and everything, and it started formatting and partitioning the hard drive, or the thumb drive. And why would that be? Why would all the nightmare that took place the last couple of days that have kind of driven me crazy? Well, this had a gold foil connector, okay, ribbon, and it was a one-way on, one-way off type of deal. Now, here's a note for you. I had read on Amazon that these things are specific to, I'm just shutting this down so I can maybe avoid shorting the damn thing out right here. It's got a weird, I think I loaded every single thing that could have been loaded. So I've got some weird stuff going on there. Anyways, so long and short of it is, it never recognized, and I didn't know it wasn't recognizing this hard drive or that hard drive, because I had the cable in upside down on this end, okay? The little pins have got to be facing up when you're pushing them in, and then you clamp it down over the top of it. Then you flip it over and down, and that's how it plugs into the motherboard, okay? I had it so that they're both going the wrong. This was actually upside down and plugged in, and it just, I had a cable issue. That was the error that kept coming up, and I couldn't understand why it kept trying to format the thumb drive that had the distro on it. I'm new to this stuff, guys, so it's rookie mistakes. Have a little mercy on me, or roast me, whatever. I don't give a rat's ass. But in any case, I walked away from it figuring, if nothing else, it would boot this hardware, or that hard drive, the SSD card, when it was mounted in here on the USB. So I figured if nothing else, I'd just operate the thing with that little enclosure with the SSD in it, and if I'm engaged in some nefarious activity, I can just pull the hard drive out of it. There's nothing remaining in there because there was no hard drive inside the unit at that point, and just toss the damn thing in the river. But in seriousness, I wanted some functionality out of it, and I was willing to go even that way, even though going through a USB port kind of defeated the whole idea of having the SSD. Now, at some point through all this stuff, I upgraded it to a whopping 2 gigabytes of RAM, and it's actually a pretty cool little device. So it boots. MX Linux does operate. It's got all kinds of functionalities. It comes with about 15 different, it's a mashup between 2 different distro writing people, and they have got so many things that you can hook into this thing, and so many options is one of the things. If you just go ahead and say, hey, load it all, they'll all fight for dominance when it comes to setting up your screen size and stuff like that. So you need to be careful when you're downloading stuff and telling it what to do, because it'll do it, and then you could just got a rat's nest trying to figure out what you did wrong, trying to get the screen right, blah 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 blah, all software issues. So it can work, it does work. This cool little unit. I'm now happy again. Thank you for watching my channel. As I do more stuff, and maybe next time I'll actually record the drama and the trauma. Oh, a little side note. Whoever it is that decided it would be a great idea to set those little bitty screws. Okay, now this is the smallest screwdriver that I have. Okay? Look at this. Look how bitty those suckers are. I got 2 of them. Now it's just 1. 2 of them. 2, 3. Okay? You need to stop. You freaking need to stop. Those are for the enclosure. Those little screws that go on the sides right there. Okay? And being Mr. Anal Retentive, I of course put all 8 of the screws in to only then say, hey, maybe I've got the ribbon in backwards or wrong. And let me tell you something. I flipped it end for end. The blue side will not go into that. It will not go in the hard drive, the SSD, nor will it go into that little bitty slot on the original hard drive. So it's got to be the white end in, and the blue end. So that left what? I had to have that up on that, on this facing up, and then push it in and clamp it down that way on that side. So thank you for watching. More to come. I'll get back to fishing and stuff like that, and but I've got like 15 or 20 long videos worth of crap that I'm trying to cut down and edit. So as they come along, I will post them on there. Thank you. I appreciate you watching. Give me some love, man, or not. Subscribe, hit the like button. By the way, MX Linux was a pretty straight up easy install for somebody who knows nothing about Linux and has converted 3 of his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 laptops to Linux, and I know nothing about it. Basically, I'm on a screw Microsoft, screw Apple, and of course I've got an iPad over there and an iPhone over here that I'm recording this on. So my hypocrisy only goes so far. Thanks for watching, and if you didn't like it, do me a favor, hit the unlike button twice.